Welcome to a new podcast episode. Today we have a special guest here, my friend Liam. We've known each other now for what, dude? It's crazy. It's 7 years, and we'll get to that story as well soon. But yeah, really happy to have you here. We have our co-host here as well, of course, Mr. Andy Andreas, and yeah,
Happy to be here, boys.
really happy to have you here, man. This has been a long time coming, bro. As you said, it's 7 years since me and Liam got to know each other through the magical thing that's called Instagram.
Yeah, wow.
When I started out as a fitness coach back in the days, doing like fitness content, want to become a fitness influencer.
Yeah, we could say that.
You also wanted to become a fitness influencer, and I mean, you kind of did end up as one now, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could call it that, yeah. Maybe, potentially. I'm not a good one, but I'd probably call myself that, yeah.
Well, I guess more of a coach.
Yeah.
Is probably what you'd say.
Yeah.
Liam has grown his account now to your social media to like, what is it now?
40-something, 41,000, I think,
Yeah.
on Instagram. Yeah.
And we'll dive into a little bit about how you've actually done that, the depth behind that as well,
Yeah.
what you're doing now as a coach. But man, tell me a little bit, or tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, now you're living in Bangkok.
Yeah.
Tell us how you ended up here, man.
Where do I start, man? It's, 6 years ago, delved into the Instagram world, trying to become like a fitness influencer. Was living in Australia at the time, and then that all sort of panned out over the last like 4 or 5 years. It worked out pretty well, and now I live in Bangkok doing bodybuilding and lifestyle fitness coaching. So, yeah, crazy.
Bro, it's crazy. I remember because the way we met was, I think we were in like some fitness community type of thing.
Yeah.
For people that want to like become
David Lade.
Yeah, basically people that want to become David Lade,
Yeah.
and we got to know each other, and we've kept in touch ever since. And now we're like finally, because I looked through our messages, and it was like we always were like, oh, I'll come meet you like next year. And then when I started my business, I'm like, now I'm working remote, I'll come, we'll meet you up somewhere and this and that. And now we're actually here, which is crazy. But back to like when you actually started out, like what was the reason that you actually wanted to like not become a fitness influencer, but like do something in fitness?
I don't think there was like any specific reason. It was more just like I wanted to be muscular. And then it just sort of evolved into what it's become along the way from seeing other people doing the same thing before me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was no like real catalyst event that sort of forced me into doing it. It was just like an escalation of what I was doing at the time, and it's just evolved into what it is.
Yeah, that's fair, man. It's crazy to see, because I remember I saw the message, I think it was in 2019. I said, this guy, man, you're going to become the Mr. Olympia like someday. And now you're pretty close, or not. I mean,
we wouldn't say
I'm not close to it, but in my eyes, like uneducated eyes, it feels like you're closer to them.
Yeah,
to it.
I'm definitely closer now than I was when you first said that, but
Yeah.
there's a ways to go. There's levels to
course.
it. There's levels to it.
Of course. Take us a little bit like through when you actually started competing, how that's journey been for you.
That was a hell spur of the moment thing as well. So I was working in a gym at the time. I was maybe like 3 or 4 years into lifting at that point, I think. And I was like that was like when I first started, when I first got shredded and I was posting for the first time there.
Yeah.
And one of my friends who was like trained at the gym came in and was like, in 10 weeks I'm doing a competition, you should do it too. And I was already pretty lean. And I was like, okay, like why not? And then did it, ended up winning. And I was like, this could be something I like enjoy doing. Because the process itself of competing is like, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
So like along the way, I was like, why am I doing this? Like this sucks.
Yeah.
And then once you step on stage and then obviously you win as well, it's like this whole rush of endorphins, and that's literally how it turned into what it is now. Now that's all I do. So crazy.
I think that makes sense. And I think that's probably like, I don't know that much about bodybuilding, right?
Yeah.
But I can imagine like that feeling when you stand on stage, and especially for you, like win, like that, all of those emotions, you just want to chase that forever. It's almost like a high probably, right?
It literally is. Yeah, it literally is a high. Because it's hard to explain to people who have never gone through like a bodybuilding diet or a prep, because the delayed gratification you get from it is just like so extreme. Because you like some days in the prep you are like knocking on death's door. Like it sounds hell excessive, but it is pretty rough at some points, and then you literally forget about it within like 10 minutes, because it's like, this is awesome. Like you see the blinding lights and everyone's cheering your name. It's like, fuck, this is pretty sick. And then you're just like, I could do it again. Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think that like delayed gratification has kind of done for you? And now, like, let's say a business side of things as well.
Yeah, so That's probably like the most underrated thing, I think, when it comes to bodybuilding, is like how well it transitions into so many other parts of your life. Like not only the delayed gratification, but also just like the discipline to just, no matter what, there's stuff you obviously don't want to do throughout the day, you just get it done. And it has, yeah, transferred pretty well into the business side of things for me. Not that I like don't enjoy doing it, but it's just like the routine, the discipline of just doing what needs to be done is probably like the biggest benefit that it's had for me. Is just like set a real good foundation for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the same for like, because I see a lot of entrepreneurs, they often start out in the gym, right? Because that's where you like start stacking that proof of like you're actually doing the stuff that you told yourself to do.
Yeah.
Like I look back now, I've been training for like 10 years, even though it doesn't really look like that all the time. It's like I train every single day for like 10 years, follow the program for every single day for 10 years. Now it feels like I have that proof in me that I can do whatever I kind of want to do, even though I haven't stepped on stage yet. But maybe someday we'll see. Just for fun. A funny side story as well, because you used to coach me as well. Got pretty good results.
Yeah.
You should check him out if
Not
you want to
bad,
get
not bad.
if you want to get in shape. But yeah, so I think that delayed gratification is like the big thing about it, right? Is that you always, because in life it's the one that can kind of win the most in any aspect. It's just the person that can delay that gratification the most. That's a pretty hard thing to balance too, right? Delaying that gratification forever.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, I haven't really found too many difficulties with it yet, but I'm sure it can come with its disadvantages for sure.
Yeah. I feel like, at least from a business side of things, it's like for me and Andreas now, for instance, like we're working so much every single day, like work for the last like 3 years. We've been working like every single day basically. I've had like one day off, I think, basically. Like no, I had that weekend off when I was hunting, and that was like my only weekend off that I've ever had for the last like 3 years. And that's like, we enjoy the process, so it's not that hard for us. But again, we're kind of delaying that gratification, like also like reinvesting everything into the business. That's when you really, it can be a hard time, like delaying that gratification. Finding that balance of like delaying it forever, but also kind of enjoying the moment a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's probably where most people in our situation are pretty similar. Is like, at what point do you sort of sit back and enjoy some of it before you keep grinding away? But I suppose that's also how you get into the position that you're in, I'm in, Andres is in. It's just, I suppose you enjoy it when you can. I have moments every now and again where I like take a moment to enjoy it for what it is, but I'm very progression driven. So exactly. It is hard to sort of enjoy the moment when you are grinding away, but I love it. So,
but it's like you mentioned as well, like progress driven, right? It's enjoying that progress. And always, that's the same like in bodybuilding for you too, right? You as we talked about, actually, it's a good point. Like you look at yourself like a real life video game character, right?
Literally.
Like in RuneScape when you're leveling up to like.
I'm going for the 99, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's such a good point, because that's what most like entrepreneurs and also view their life as, like, okay, we want to level up in this aspect, like mind, body, the spirit, and business, of course, as well. And I think that's what separates like the ones that can actually enjoy the process from the ones that can't really enjoy it.
For sure.
And of course, sorry?
No, I was agreeing.
But one thing that I wanted to touch a little bit upon as well was like, because you're from Australia. It's a fucking long way from Australia to Norway, man. And then it's not that long from Bangkok to Australia. But how's that been like living in Australia? What do you think about Australia? And why are you now decided to live in Bangkok?
It was everything I do, bro, is so off the cuff. Like the reason I moved here, there was no reason. It was literally, as I said, just was in Japan for a holiday, stopped here for what was meant to be a week, never left. But now that I've been here for a while, it's like the difference in environment is probably the biggest. Like Australia is I'm sure there's some areas in Australia that are fine, but it's almost like very tall poppy syndrome. Whereas like if there's people who are doing better than other people, they're very quick to sort of cut them down and try and bring them back to that average level, which is, obviously not ideal situation to be in when you're trying to be better than average. But the main positives of Bangkok is just that, the environment. There's plenty of people here, not that I go out and socialize a whole lot, but there's plenty of people here like living that digital nomad lifestyle that are also on the same level that if I wanted to branch out, it'd be very easy to, whereas in Australia it's not. And then obviously just like access to the rest of the world as well. Australia is like minimum 10, 15 hours from anywhere that you want to go. Whereas Bangkok, you know, I can travel to any Asian country within like 3 hours, 4 hours. And it's obviously a lot closer to the Europe side of things in the US. So just a lot more convenient, I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's pretty similar to Norway as well then, I guess, right? Because Norway is like very much like that as well. Did you call it the tall poppy syndrome?
Tall poppy syndrome, yeah. So like it's poppy farmers. Have you ever heard the analogy? Tall poppy syndrome? So it's poppy farmers, the way they farm is they try and keep their crop all the same level. So if poppy pops up and it's too tall for everything else, they cut it back. And it's the same height as every other poppy.
Yeah, in Norway we call it janteloven. Yeah.
It's the law of Jante. I don't know what that means, but that's what we say.
New to me, bro. New to me.
Yeah, do you know what it means?
Yeah, it's just you're supposed to be like it's the song though, isn't it? Or like a quote. It's like you're supposed to be like everyone else.
True. Yeah.
Don't think you're something more than everyone else, or like something like that. Yeah.
There's like a hidden rule that don't think you're more than anyone else, and don't think high of yourself and this and that. I think.
Yeah.
Quick fun fact as well. Norway is one of the countries in the world with the most norms, so unwritten rules. So there's a lot of like, you get eyes, you get kind of like if you do things that you're not supposed to do. But like I've felt like so free in Thailand, and I've kind of noticed it more because like for example in traffic here. It's like in Norway, I've realized we have so many traffic laws now. Because here, it's like, wherever I see, it's like I get almost this ick. Because I'm like, this is illegal, but it's not, right? Not. Like tinning your windows on your car, for example. There's like so many small details, and it just feels like Norway, they have too much time on their hands, so they just put in more and more and more rules. But like here, it feels more like they care more about the important things. Like,
bro, I think that's like a big thing about Norway, and it's probably the same in Australia. It's like it feels like Norway now just put in rules to put in rules.
Yeah, they just necessity for it.
Yeah, they just do things to do things. It's like they don't have any. They have a lot of more important stuff they should do, but they're like, let's do this instead and just do things for the heck of doing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's. But so I guess Australia is pretty similar to Norway then as well. That's
in that way especially. I think that's probably another big positive about living here I didn't mention before is like, obviously you guys would have realized very quickly how welcoming everyone is. I suppose it goes both ways, but they have like a very laid back lifestyle here. Like in some ways it can obviously be a detriment because they don't actually care a whole lot about some things that they probably should. But in the other direction, it's also like things like that, where it's the small itty bitty issues that really don't affect anyone. They just don't care. They care about the big shit and none of this little stuff. So yeah, it's good.
Makes total sense. From one thing to another, then I want to talk a little bit about like your brand, because I think a lot of people that are watching this is probably online coaches, people that want to start their own, fitness brands, start their own fitness journey like that, sharing content, this and that. And as I said, we met like way back in 2019 when you started out actually doing it. And you've been like consistent ever since. And I think that's something that a lot of people probably don't recognize as well, is that, bro, this guy has been consistent now for, 6 years probably.
6 odd years.
Yeah, 6 years, like posting like really consistently. Because, I've been following you now for 6 years, looking at all your shit like all the time. And I've not been consistent with like posting, especially, right? And I think that's why now you've grown such a big following. Yeah. But what has been like just take us through like your, I guess, personal brand journey as well. Because you did some YouTube as well, but now you're lacking on that.
Yeah, I'm lacking on the YouTube. YouTube is probably what I enjoy the most too. I really should. I actually filmed yesterday, to be fair. Yeah, so my personal brand is, I would say I probably fall a little differently to most online coaches in the way I go about things. But yeah, I suppose I look at how I've posted as reasonably inconsistent, but in the long term, it has been pretty consistent, like over a yearly basis. But like, as a bodybuilder in the off season, when I'm super chunky and I'm not shredded, I don't like posting at all, and I sort of just go ghost on the gram. But yeah, there's periods of time where I've been like this past prep, I posted every single day for I think it was like 5 months straight, which grew like 20,000 followers. So yeah, my personal brand, I haven't really I don't think about the personal brand side of things too much. I just post what I want to post, and it's worked out so far. Yeah. And that's probably not what I would recommend for most people that are trying to do this. I've been pretty lucky in the way that I suppose what I've wanted to post has worked out all right, and it's built a decent following and a decent clientele and got me to where the point I am now. So
Yeah. I don't think it comes down to luck, man. I think it just comes down to like, as you said, like you're just sharing the things you want to share, right? And you enjoy bodybuilding, so then you share about bodybuilding. Then who are you actually going to attract? You're going to attract the people that also love bodybuilding, right? Loves fitness, right? So I think that's what a lot of people, they screw up on when they're doing their own personal brand. It's like, oh, what do I need to post to attract others, when you should just post like what you actually enjoy posting. Like that's the same for me. Like on my social media, like yes, I work with online coaches and I help scale online coaches, but I don't only post about that, like because I don't want to just talk about that. Like I want to talk about psychology, I want to talk about philosophy, I want to talk about like deeper stuff as well. So I don't only talk about that, right? And I think that also makes it so I actually attract people, you know, like yourself, that also cares about these things, reading books. I have my book review, right? It's like a book review isn't what a typical marketing agency would actually post, but still I think it attracts the persons that appreciates that, right?
And I think you attract people who are more invested in you, who are then eventually, again, the more who someone is like invested in you can potentially become a client because they relate with you more, rather than just trying to, I suppose, sell via content. So,
and I think something unique about you as well, Liam, has been you. It seems like you've just had focus on you and kind of your bodybuilding and just getting bigger, like focusing on your own results, and that has kind of just attracted people that want similar results, and they see your journey, they want to follow your journey, they want to see you reach your own goals, and kind of how is this going to progress. They're almost getting curious because you're going from this to this to this, off season, in season, competition. Like they wanna follow the journey, you know, and they get inspired as well.
Yeah, sort of like a different route of proof of work. Like a lot of coaches will go the route of like transformations and posting educational content, which works for sure, and I probably should do more of that. But also the other side of it is like, you know, proving that I can just do this. Like I do this myself. So if you do what I tell you to do, of course you're going to be able to get not the exact same result potentially, but you will get results. So
for sure. I think it's really important, and it's like you said as well. Like you should probably post a little bit more of other things, but again, it's not only that kind of comes down to like the small details, right? If you want like 10% better results in your getting more clients, like client acquisition, right? Then you should probably do it, just because it's a quicker sales cycle as well for the clients, because they get to know you more. They don't have to follow you and like see you post just this like picture of yourself or you talking about yourself on the story, but they can also relate more to you on a quicker notice. So it's a shorter sales cycle because you can speak about all the different things you can speak about, right?
Exactly. Just
a small thing that like because we spoke about it like not yesterday, but a couple days ago, that you have like 2 hours every single day of like just like education, right? You just read and just get better for like 2 hours every single day. I think that's, for instance, like a thing that like really differentiate you from other people, especially like bodybuilders, because let's be honest, a lot of bodybuilders are meatheads. That's a stereotype, but it's true from what I've seen as well.
A lot of them aren't too interested in the actual science behind a lot of it.
Exactly. Sure. So like there's just some easy things that you could do to like get much better, like just create a more in-depth personal brand as well, right? So share more like that, because when we speak as well, like there's so many like gold nuggets that people don't know about them until you actually tell people about them, right? People don't know the things about you that they should know until you tell them about these things.
Exactly.
So I think that's a really important thing as well.
No, I agree, and it's so often we speak about things, or like we see or we speak to people and we're like, why don't we know this from your social media? This is gold.
Exactly.
Like almost every coach we talk to, or like when I do, or for example, profile reviews, I'm like, there's so many good things about you. Why are you not telling people? They don't realize, like when people come to the Instagram profile, usually they've never seen you before, they don't know who you are, and you have like a couple seconds to just catch their attention and convince them that this is worth a follow, you know? And then you kind of have to, it's easy to just get in your own head and kind of forget about the things that people care about, because you care about like the next thing and the next thing and something else, and like you kind of get a bit, it depends on your target audience, of course. Like if your target audience is people in bodybuilding, like really close to where you are, of course you're more kind of close and connected. But when you keep just leveling up, and kind of forgetting about the people that you're coaching, I see this so many times with coaches. They keep talking about the advanced techie language and all this.
They just distance themselves.
But their clientele is like completely normal people that don't know anything about working out. They just want to get out the door, get into the gym, and they're super, super happy. So like that's the thing with like content and online coaches as well. They need to connect like their own journey and their own results to their actual target audience as well. So it's a mix. It's not only the geeky stuff, but it's not also not only like super surface level stuff. You got to find the balance in between.
Yeah.
For sure.
But I think it also like another point of this is that if you look at your clients, right? Because you have a really big following now. Are you open to sharing how many clients you have?
Yeah, so at the moment I'm like hovering between 75, 80.
Yeah.
Depending on the week and how many leave and come on board.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that's a good number to just kind of surf at, right? You're just kind of chilling there.
Yeah.
Like you're making good money. You're living in Bangkok, but the reason why you can do what you do and why you mentioned as well, like you wouldn't recommend this to other people, is because of also your service delivery, right? Because your lifetime, as you've spoken about, like off camera as well, is really good. Because your service delivery is really good. Your knowledge is really good. You can help these people with it. You have a really good like product in place, which means that you just get a client and then you stay for like a year.
Yeah.
And then you don't need to go out and like chase too. So you can kind of live with that abundance, that grounded energy in you as well, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that a lot of people screw up on because they just think about like the client acquisition. You've kind of done the opposite thing. You've just thought about, let me just be the best coach I can ever be.
Yeah.
That kind of goes hand in hand with like being the best bodybuilder you can ever be. And then you have a really good product. You don't need to go out and like chase new clients all the time as well.
Yeah.
And then it's only like if you actually want to scale, then of course, then it will be like, okay, now we should probably look at how we can like efficiently fix your client acquisition, perhaps run some ads, switch up the personal branding a little bit to like shorten down some sales cycles. Because now you have like 40, 50,000 followers, and like, bro, you could have like 1,000 clients in like 3 months if you wanted to. But of course, that's probably not the right move to have, even though you could have 1,000 clients in 6 months for sure, like guaranteed. But it's probably not the right thing for you right now.
Yeah, it doesn't really interest me to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really important thing to like recognize as well. Like business and life just goes in seasons too, right? It's like for you now, it's just about it seems like at least it's just for like bodybuilding, just getting as good as you can in bodybuilding, creating the best product you can ever create. Meanwhile, of course, you're building your personal brand, and then who knows, sometime later, like you'll become Mr. Olympia in like 3 years. Then it's like, now we can ramp up the business.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
You're exactly right. Though. It does come in seasons. Like I've had periods of time back. I remember being like sort of in the same position, but I was around like 45, 50 clients. And I knew I could handle more and still sort of get to that point where I'm at now and coast a little bit and focus on bodybuilding still. And I definitely, catered towards the business side of things a little bit more in terms of client acquisition and content and pushing towards getting more clients. But then I've also just done like a bodybuilding prep where my cognitive ability is just not there at all to be trying to do that stuff as well. And I obviously still want to focus on that. That's just as important to me as the clients and the coaching service is. So yeah, it comes in waves of what my priorities are, and I sort of just delve into that however I need.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the beauty of the personal brand though. Like you're building a personal brand now with a lot of people, but you don't have to sell them anything right now.
Yeah.
You could just like in 5 years, in 10 years, maybe you want to do something else, but because you've just shared what you want to share and you'll keep sharing what you want to share, you'll attract people with kind of the same interests. So in the end, you'll probably do something that they're also interested in, and they're also like invested to you and kind of your journey as well. Anyways, so it's like you're building up such a good audience by just being yourself and not like saying everything you think people want to hear, because then you would attract people for specific things and not really for you. So they're not really going to stay in the long term.
Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate like the power of selling, exactly like you said, just through who I am. Like people buy from people who they like, who they relate to. So even if I'm not hard selling through content, or I'm not actually like putting out anything to attract clients, just people watching my stuff is enough of a rapport builder to eventually someone might end up turning into a client regardless. I'm sure when you first started following me, you probably never thought you'd be getting coached by me at any point, but there we were.
Yeah, it's just about like building, I think, because that's what a lot of people fuck up when they're doing, like they're just creating like so salesy content, like selling, DM me this and I'll get in touch with you, DM me this and this and this and that. And I think like in 2025, man, if you're selling on your social media, then you're you'll be left in the dust.
You're behind.
Yeah, for sure. It worked like a couple of years ago, for sure. Like, yeah, you could do call to actions all the time, like a couple of years ago, but now you can't do like these typical call to actions, because it also comes down to like the audience is just more like accustomed to it. They know, they're more
Everyone's
educated.
doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, especially for like B2C, people are just like tired of, people don't want to buy something. People want to like get a transformation, right? Like that's specifically like on a sales call as well. Like I work a lot on with the sales side of things with our coaches. Now I just created like a 4-hour like long video material that we send out to all the coaches. And what I speak about a lot there is that everyone in general, we don't want to like buy something. We just want you to transform it. Can you transform me, Liam? Can you help me get the 6-pack I've always wanted? Yes or no? If you can, yes, then okay, here's my money. Like take it all. And it's like, it's so easy when you just have that like grounded energy in yourself, and you are like a leader. Like that's the kind of persona you put out, I guess, like the aura that you kind of radiate on your Instagram, right? That you are kind of that leader. You have that like grounded confidence in yourself. And the second you start pushing that silly content, you have that needy energy, like I need you as my client. Then you just lose all the authority that you have.
It's not a great look, I don't think, going that route. Yeah.
We talked about it like yesterday. I just ate like I had 4 meals. All of them were protein shakes. It's diabolical, man. What do you have to say to my diet as a fitness coach?
It could definitely be improved. It's not optimal, but it's also not the worst. It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. Could be Taco Bell. Could be.
I could be like these guys, huh?
Bro, come on now.
Okay, let's not roast them. Hey, Taco Bell once in a while is okay too, right?
Of course, yeah. There's plenty of room for flexibility.
Yeah, that's good. Exactly. When it comes to like, you just mentioned the word like optimal.
Yeah.
I'm such like an optimizing freak, and I've looked a lot into like peptides and these types of things, like specifically like biohacking.
Yeah.
I'm not that much into like, okay, let's get huge as possible, but specifically in like peptides when it comes to, just optimizing your brain, optimizing for longevity. I've read a lot. Well, I can't say I've read a lot into it, but I'm interested in it, and I know you have a lot of experience with that as well, right?
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't say I'm advanced in my knowledge on peptides, but it's definitely something that I am currently educating myself on.
Yeah.
And I would say, I'm definitely more educated than average for sure.
Yeah. Because you're pretty open about your usage of everything, right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, that's good. A lot of people aren't.
Yeah, I don't shy away from it, man. I'm not trying to sell a fake dream to anyone.
Yeah, because I remember like because the thing that a lot of people also don't think about is that because we've known each other now, as we've said, for 6 years, and I remember your physique was so good of like just 2-3 years as well, right? But then, can you tell us like when you actually decided to hop on? Because I think I remember that.
Yeah, so I think it was like 3 or 4 months after that first competition I did.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be someone who never ever touched steroids like that. Those words literally came out of my mouth. I was like, I'll never do steroids. I don't need to. Like, why would I do that? And then I did the first competition. I was like, oh, this is kind of good. And you sort of like, your knowledge escalates of what's actually capable and how small you actually are in the niche of fitness and bodybuilding. And it sort of intrigued me. And the thought process for me was literally like, if I'm on my deathbed and I look back, would I be happy that I didn't see what I was capable of with enhancements? And I was like, I probably would be pretty upset that I didn't see that. So that was the decision maker for me. And I've been on now for 2025?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.5 or 4 years now. But yeah, I'm no longer a natty scum. So
I'm just trying to find a picture as well, because I remember there's like one picture of you standing on scene. I have to find it. I'll show Andreas as well. But I think that's what, like, because you mentioned as well there, like with you, like not like wanting to reach your potential, right? Bro, I think that's what a lot of people like don't realize, is that we talked about this the other day as well, you and me, that every single day that you're not doing everything you can to reach a certain level of something,
you're losing that percentage, right?
Yeah, you're losing that percentage, man. Like we spoke about it, because like to like you and Mr. Olympia, right?
Yeah.
You miss one meal, okay, that's like chipping out like 0.001% of like you hitting that potential.
Yeah.
Like just that gram of muscle mass that has something to say when you're kind of standing, let's say, on that stage sometime. And as well for us, like in business, the second you sleep in one day, then that potential is chipping away. The second you skip that one like work session that you should be doing, chipping that away. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, man, we have one life. You should really.
It's not infinite.
Yeah,
it's not infinite.
It feels like that sometimes.
Yeah, it does. It honestly does, but it's not in many aspects. Like both business, bodybuilding. Like I can't, as much as I would love to just like blast steroids forever. It's like I'm very aware that I've probably got like a 10, 12 year span before my health or my hair says no, like you can't do this anymore. And very much the same with business. Obviously, it might be a reasonably unhealthy way to think about it in terms of like, I need to do this, otherwise this won't happen. But if you want to be great, I don't think there's, balance isn't really a thing if you want to be better than normal. So
yeah, I think it's just the cost of opportunity, right? Or the opportunity cost, I guess is what you say. It's like, yeah, you can enjoy a night out. Like you can go out and enjoy a night out, but you're losing out on the potential. And I think as individuals on this planet Earth, like we have to realize that everything costs something. There's like a bank that we draw like out of that bank every single time we're doing something, and we're putting that to something else. It's like if you want to be there's like different categories in life. You have like, for instance, like fitness. This is a big thing for you. It's a decent thing for me, but it's not like my main priority. Like my main priority is like my business, I'd say. So it's like, okay, maybe I sometimes have to chip something away from that fitness aspect. I skip a workout session if I have to put that into like the business side of things.
Eat 5 protein shakes a day instead of chicken.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's a good example, right? Because that was like, I know that it's not optimal. Like I should probably eat some
micronutrients.
Yeah. I mean, it's also an excuse because I could eat some fruit. It doesn't really take that long time too, right? But again, it's like, okay, I know that I would rather drink these protein shakes than order some shitty takeaway food too, right? Because I know at least now I know what I'm getting. I didn't have time to like think that much yesterday because I was working like all day as well. So it's like just for me to remove that decision fatigue as well. I woke up, I was like, I'll just do 4 protein shakes. I don't have time to think about something else, right? So I'll just remove that decision fatigue. Then I can be completely like dialed in on what is the most important thing for me. Okay, that's business too, right?
That's been super nice with Thailand though. I mean, we've ordered food 2-3 times a day since we came.
Yeah.
We haven't
It's just so convenient.
It's so convenient. It's like you can work while it's coming. It's like you lose 0 time. It just shows up and then you eat it and then you're back to work.
And it's cheap for delivery. It's not like it's costing you 50% like it would back home for the delivery.
Exactly.
It's like 10 baht.
Like the whole meal is the same price as only delivery in Norway. So
there we go, man. I found it.
Yeah. That was when I started getting not natty accusations.
Yeah, I remember. That makes sense. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. That's a pretty good physique, man, for being like, what were you here, like 22 years old?
I think it was 21.
Yeah, because you were born in?
99.
Yeah, this was 2021.
Yeah.
But that's a good physique. And this was right after you hopped on, right? No, this was right before.
That was probably like a year before at that stage, I think.
Because here you can see that bloatiness.
Yeah,
now
that was me peak bulk first cycle. That was
makes sense. You can tell from
the chins.
Yeah. but yeah, like back to like what we were talking about as well, like with that shit as well, with like I want to talk more about peptides because I think that's, as I said, super interesting, and like at least more than we do about this too, right? What do you think of because have you seen a lot with like the trends of like peptides? Because I think it's a really double-edged sword, because I remember like SARMs back like a couple of years ago was like, oh, it's the new golden thing, this and that and this and that, and then there's so many like young kids jumping on. I feel like that's kind of the same thing now with peptides. Like, what are your thoughts about all
I think the trend is very similar. Like, this is how the industry works, and I've been in it for a while now. It's like you'll have these trends of it was SARMs, and then the SARMs sort of faded out. I think they faded back in for a little while, and now the peptide side of things it's been around for a while, maybe like 2 years or so now. It's been picking up, but now, like right now, it's very big. I think the SARMs definitely was a worse trend because a lot of those actually affected your hormonal system. So it was like if you took those and then stopped, it was the equivalent of taking testosterone and stopping, and your pituitary is just bin. So your hormone production shut off from taking those. Whereas peptides is like, we don't know the negatives long term, but they're not causing, at least from what we can see anecdotally, anything other than benefits. So I think my personal opinion is like the peptide side of things is definitely a lot safer. I don't want to say safer. I don't want to say anything that's like, but it's, for me, I would never take a SARM. I do take peptides. So it's like, for me, it's definitely a better decision than SARMs would be, for sure.
Yeah. But I think it's important to like, that's why I also wanted to talk about it a little bit here as well, because there might be like people watching this that have been thinking about taking it, this and that. And of course, we're not gonna fucking sit there and give recommendations and this and that. But I think it's important to at least talk about the topic, because there's, especially like in Norway, like no one talks about this, and that just means that, for instance, if there's young people watching this, then it's like, okay, no one in Norway talks about this, so I'm not really educated on this. But this one guy said that it's the holy grail of everything, so now I'll go to some Chinese website and order something, and then just pin it in my butt cheeks, and then let's go, right?
And they watch Togi, and then they're
Yeah,
Exactly,
that's a problem. Yeah, as you said, it's a double-edged sword, because I'm very open about everything, but I'm also very open in the fact of like it's individual for me, because. For example, in that situation where, you know, potentially kids in Norway who are much like myself, who like bodybuilding, who are lacking education because no one talks about it there, it's a bit more taboo. The double-edged sword is like, I can talk about it and they can get educated, but it's also like, if they then go and take a dosage who's, for me, who's 105 kilos, who's been doing it for 4 years, is like, it's not going to work for them. So you don't want to be saying so much that people just take your advice and take what you're doing as gospel.
Yeah, exactly.
And just copy it, you know, word for word.
But I think that's why it's like really important to also have people like you in the fitness space as well. That's like, if someone is listening to this and like they wanna like dive into this, please just get like some.
Get help.
Yeah, get
if
help.
You don't know what you're doing, get help.
Yeah, and we're not saying this from a needy selly energy.
Don't go to me, go to someone else. Just get help.
Yeah, because it's actually really important to like not put fucking shit in your body. That
you can hurt yourself. You can ruin your nuts for the rest of your life. Really, you could ruin your chances of having kids. Your testosterone could be in the bin forever. It's like, there's real danger.
Yeah, it is. So that's why I also just wanted to touch upon it, because it's like such a new, well, not new, but like, I guess you could say new topic, especially like in Norway, as I said, it's like no one is talking about that stuff. And I think it's at least important to talk about. And I think like, because I've dived into it a little bit as well, the first thing that got me into it was because like Ozempic, I don't know if that's a peptide.
Ozempic itself, well, it's an amino acid chain, so it would be.
Yeah, okay, because that's like that's something that's like been really common in Norway now, and you see like all these people like taking Ozempic, like just you have the typical like Ozempic face where you just look like you're anorexic and just look horrible. But the reason I dived into it is because I have a close friend of mine that is struggling with like obesity as well. Yeah. And bro, he's been trying everything. He's been getting coaching from people. He's been getting, you know, just trying so much that when you try, let's say you try 10 times to lose weight and it doesn't work, that 11th time is fucking hard, man. Yeah. It's like, for him, I know it has been really hard for him, like mentally, like just from a self-esteem type of things as well. That's why I started researching it, because I was like, man, what if like we could do some of this to actually help you lose that weight, right? Because I know it's important for his longevity in his life as well to drop that weight too, right? Yeah. So that was the thing that like got me into it, and that's why I also have a positive mindset of things, because I know it actually can help people. Yeah. Trying to get him on that sauce soon.
Those GLP-1s. I think they're probably the most promising ones, to be honest, because like obviously obesity is a huge problem. I think they were like originally derived for diabetics, like type 2 diabetics. I think Ozempic's having issues at the moment with like lawsuits because their specific GLP-1 is causing issues long term with gastric emptying. But the newer ones like tirzepatide, retatrutide, and there's a new one that's like in the works, bioglutide. So tirzepatide is a dual agonist, so it works on the GLP and the GIP or GRP. And then retatrutide is the triple, and then bioglutide has like a fourth string agonistic effect. Those ones definitely I'm big fans of. Obviously they have their uses in bodybuilding, but for the obese population, it's like huge. There's nothing worse than being fat. Like, it's literally the worst thing for your health. So those are huge.
Exactly, and I think that's why like looking into the bodybuilding community, or like the bodybuilding side of things, is a good thing, because you guys, well, not you specifically, but a lot of the guys in the bodybuilding community takes things to the extreme. So like, hey, look at some of the stuff that they're doing. Like, for instance, like retatrutide, as you mentioned, might there be some potential here to use it for the other side, of, like other aspects of
well, like the
extreme instead of the extreme muscle, the extreme fat. There's some similarities, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, bodybuilding or bodybuilders are just like we're not scared to inject shit and try it out and see what happens. So it's like, it might be a negative, but it works out pretty well for a lot of other people who get to sort of see the effects before they have to take it themselves. So
Yeah, exactly, like anecdotal evidence, which is, to be fair, one of the best evidence, I think.
I think so. Yeah,
I think so.
really do. Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, I have to see this study and this and that first. I'm like, bro, like anecdotes is like, you see it happening.
It's real world proof.
I don't
It's-
trust numbers, bro.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
trust
I do
numbers.
as well.
trust
I'm
my
not
eyes,
against science
you
at
know?
all, but like there's especially in the bodybuilding side of things, there's things that you can't quite replicate in a lab. That you know, anecdote. Like how many bodybuilders are they using for any of these like lab tests? You know, like
Exactly. So I think that's what I see with my own eyes is what I believe.
yeah, that's a good
Not
point.
to get into conspiracy theory here, but yeah. But from one thing to another, like, because I know we probably don't have that much time left, I think. But I want to hear a little bit about like your goals with everything now, because you have such a good foundation, both in like your, your bodybuilding journey, of course, like competition-wise, but also like in your business side of things, your personal brand side of things. What would you say is your main goals like going forward now? What are your focus points?
The main goals at the moment is, I suppose, personal goals for me is pro card in bodybuilding, so turn professional as a bodybuilder. And then business-wise, it's less about like business development and more about development of the quality of service. So I suppose both that and like the results I produce. So I want to prep 3 clients this year, so 3 bodybuilding clients this year. And I also want to just continue to elevate my quality of service and like the education within the coaching. That's my main focus for the next 6 months.
Yeah. What about like this next 6 years?
6 years, bro. That's a big time frame for me. I'm very much a 6 month, 12 monther. 6 years, I would like to be a full roster of. I like lifestyle clients. I don't want to say that, but I would say I would want 75% of my clients to be bodybuilders, like competitive bodybuilders. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Have you thought about like creating because we spoken a little bit about this as well, like what a lot of coaches do is like building teams out too, right?
Yeah.
And I think like for you it makes so much sense to do it like from my perspective, right? I don't know what's going on in your brain, but like from my perspective, because you have such a good product, you have such a unique like framing of things, you have such a unique brain of how like you operate with your clients as well. And I think that for me it makes sense to take everything from your brain, make it into a product that also will help more people, right? Because like for you now, you'll get to, as you said, like you've had like 110, 120 clients and you feel like, damn, you're just working too much.
Yeah.
But what if you could have Liam version 2 here, like not the exact copy, but that at least can, be a product of you in that sense, and you could also help more people too, right? Have you thought about that?
For sure, yeah, that's definitely something in the future. I think the thing that's held me back from that up to this point is like that is hiring like a second coach or whatever it might be underneath is a variable that I am not in full control of. So the service, unless I could be in full control if I wanted to babysit and manage everything, but that's obviously a lot more workload as well. But I think, the main thing that sort of, I suppose you'd say, scared me up until this point is every other variable I can control within business, coaching, the service I provide, bodybuilding. If I then hand that over to someone else, it's not in my control. Like the quality of service they provide is not up to me whatsoever. Obviously, it's up to me to hire, but you know what it's like with employees and where that can go. So
yeah, and I think that just stems to you growing as a leader, right? It's just
exactly.
you becoming a really good leader. You getting I always talk about this, like you can't hire if your business is already kind of in chaos. And it doesn't have to be that your business is physically in chaos. It can also be that your brain is just in chaos too, right? You don't have like internal systems, you don't have internal frameworks, just on how you like operate. And if you don't have very much clarity in your brain on like how you exactly this is how you do it, then you can't bring someone else in to do it too, right? Yeah. But if you have that 100% clarity, then it's also very easy for someone to just come in and kind of get that training too, right? Because we have a client that we work with in Norway that has like he's building out now a team, and I think like I would say probably at least 60% of his time it goes to actually training the coach, right? Because that's how you make sure that your head or
capable of
exactly that like he becomes you. That's through the training. You can't just hire me as your coach and then say, all right, bye-bye, I'll see you. Yeah, exactly. It's like that's when you get bad products that a lot of people have, because that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people just see the money side of things, and it's like, oh, if I hire a head coach, then damn, I can make so much more because I can get 100 more clients, right? Bro, I spoke to a guy in Norway. He paid he charged I think maybe $200 for a client, and he gave his coach $20 from every client. What the fuck is that product gonna be looking like?
Did the other coach know the percentage he was getting?
Yeah, and he was happy with that.
He agreed to it.
Yeah,
oh,
it kind of, again, that kind of shows the quality of it, right?
Yeah.
Because if you know your worth and you know that your product is really, really good, then of course you're not gonna be happy with those $20.
Yeah.
And not that it is about the money, but it's also just about the value that you can provide into it, right?
Exactly.
And the energy you put back into it. But my point is just that I think, like, for you, because we've spoken a lot, and I think it's like that scarcity that you kind of have in you. I think a lot of people have that, but the only way you can kind of go through that scarcity is actually walking through it, right? And creating that like step-by-step plan on how you can actually get there. And we've spoken about it. We spoke about it earlier in this podcast as well. Like, we don't have unlimited time in this world, so maybe there's time to. I'm not saying for you now specifically, but people also listening, to just go out of that comfort zone and at least try something out, because you can always just step back if you see that it's not the right thing for you too, right?
Agreed. Yeah, that's honestly that's probably a goal as well, is to increase or better my ability as a leader and have the systems in place so that I can do that. But again, it's a work in progress. So.
Yeah,
I think a lot of coaches have everything, or a lot of entrepreneurs in general. I was a victim of this. Like, I have everything in my head, but when you then are going to hire, that's going to be a problem. Because if you just had everything you do consistently on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis just written down, because you do a lot of the same things every single time. So like, whenever you repeat a task 2 times, just write down exactly how you do it. Because later on, you're 100% gonna have use for it if you want someone else to take over that task. And you can kind of develop your product, like develop how we are going to do this and kind of write it out, because then it's gonna be 10 times easier when you kind of want to expand and hire new people, to make sure they're actually on the same wavelength and that they're doing the same type of thing that you did to get the results you did, and that they're not coming in with their whole new own coaching method, for example. Then the congruency is not there. If people come to Liam for the things he do and they kind of teach something completely else in the coaching, it's not like, it's not working.
It doesn't flow.
Yeah, it doesn't fly at all.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what is the main problem with people, is that in 2024, I think I lost probably around like 30K US or close to 30K US in like hiring. Not lost, but I look at it back. I don't look at it like a loss, because I learned a lot from it. Like I have this like thing of like your stupid bank, you just have to put money into that bank to get some.
Technically a loss, but it's not actually. It's
exactly. So like you gain some knowledge from it, of course. And that's what makes us now being able to be like, now we're 4 people full time, and we have like 4 or 5 people like almost full time now with like setters and closers. It's like, that's a big team to be running, but it is so much fun when you just dive into it and actually kind of indulge in being that leader and go through that path. But I think like probably something that hopefully you can take from it as well is, because when I looked back at myself, like, even just 2 years ago, even 3, 4, like all my life really, but the last couple of years, I didn't look at myself as an entrepreneur. I didn't look at myself as a leader. I didn't look at myself like these things that I now am. Because you can't really look at yourself like that until you kind of become it, right? You can't really look at yourself as a leader until you have that proof in yourself that you are a leader, right? So really it's just about stepping into that and trying your best to go for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So when are you gonna get your pro card?
6 months from now, I'd say. This time next year, I'll have it.
That's good. And then it's Mr. Olympia at least competing in Mr. Olympia.
3 years.
In 3 years?
3 years.
So that will be in 2028.
2028, yeah.
2028 Mr. Olympia right there. That'll be the title of this podcast.
We'll check back in on you then. We'll definitely come back to Bangkok.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
100%.
All right. Anything else you want to say to the guys and girls?
It's been good, boys. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Of course, yeah. We really enjoyed it as well. Tapped into a lot of different things. I hope you watching this got a lot of value from this as well, even if you're a coach or just a client, or not a client, but someone that potentially wants to become a client of Liam's as well, I'd recommend it. I've been on that side of things, so I'll definitely come back when I'm going to be bodybuilding soon.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Yes, sir.
But thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for being here, Liam.
Pleasure.
See you next time.